Hello, my name is Max Fleischman. I recently just went 4-0-1 undefeated with a draw just at a Winnabox up in Louisville, Kentucky. I think there was 25 something players. Nothing crazy, but I was testing something out today I hadn't really tried before, so I figured I would do a little profile on it and show the thought process, because I too was a diehard pure only Geist fan for a while, but after picking up these cards and trying them out, I think they definitely hold their place, and I think there's definitely two styles that you can play this deck now, and it's with Dogmatika cards and without. So I got profiles without, so here's a profile with. We'll start off with the spells for this deck. Running triple Nadir. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm just talking to people that don't really know super much about these cards. So this card sends a card from your extra deck to the grave to search a Dogmatika monster with equal to or less attack. So your primary targets are going to be Ash Dragon and in this deck Natis. When you send Ash Dragon, you get a secondary search at the end of the turn. So this card is insanely busted. So say your opponent puts up a board with like a floodgate or something, and you can just you can choose to either play your turn or just take care of the floodgate off the rip with a Nadir sending Natis. It's just very, very, very good removal on top of adding cards. I haven't seen too many cards like this before. It's really nice. We play the 1 Extravagance. We play the 1 because playing 2 is a bit too much in this deck, but I still want to see one of the 2 pot cards every game. So having 4 chances is a little bit better than having 3 chances without a lot of issues on bricking it, as you'll never see 2 of Extravagance. Then we play the 3 Prosperity. So in a previous pure video I've discussed, with Altergeist you have 2 pieces. You need to get to Faker and you need a trap card that's accessible or activatable. Now we play cards that can at least automatically search our traps with Nadir, such as Ecclesia Searching Punishment. So it just adds another part of the puzzle that you just want to see. So these cards help you see whatever you need to see that's not in your hand. Sculpt the hand. This card's bonkers. Great card. And then we go to the trap cards. I'm playing 3 impermanents for yesterday. I had a spot and I was like, I just need 1 more hand trap, and I don't want to play a 1-of hand trap, so I was playing 2 impermanents just because it fit. So we played 3. I think it was really nice. I literally, though, had a game against Prank Kids, my draw. Game 1, my hand was triple impermanence, manifestation, and a Concrete. And I was like, huh. And I didn't scoop, and I should have, and it cost me to get a draw that game, because I won game 2 in time, and then it was over. Next, we have our Solemns. We're playing the 3 strike. It's a trap deck. I don't think I need to explain why the Solemn cards are good, because we're all here for the same reason. Next, we play the 3 Judgment. Self-explanatory once more. Negate. You play a card, I'll negate it. Of course, the tax for this card is a little expensive sometimes, but sometimes it's really cheap too. You love paying $250 for a Solemn Judgment. Next, we have our 2 Punishment. I'm only playing 2 because it's searchable, and that's the main thing you're searching off when you summon Ecclesia. So this makes your Faker live on top of getting the Ecclesia out. Then we play, for our Altergeist traps, we play 1 and 2, 1 Manny, 2 Protocol. In this list, it wasn't edited the way I wanted it to be before I left, and I didn't realize that. And I was still playing 3 Marionetter in the main. I think you should only be playing about 2 Marionetter in the main if you're playing this version, and then bumping up your trap cards because this is still insanely important to see, and this is still insanely important to recur. Maybe play 2 of this even. I'm not really sure yet. But it worked out, obviously. Then we play the 3 spoofing. You need faker. You just really need faker. Then we got our hand trap, 3 ash. So we're playing 3 ash, 3 imperm. Not much to say here. Ash is still great. Next we're playing our 3 faker. We went back to the OGs to rep. Yeah, I don't think I gotta explain too much here. I guess, you know, you can explain sometimes like you're gonna summon faker, or sometimes you're just gonna hold on to the fleur for the extra monster negate. And you can still special faker, say you got a protocol set, you can still special faker, not use its second effect, and then summon the fleur for another effect negation, versus like a bounce or like summoning Melee-Seek. But I can't say I've ever really refused to summon faker and use both effects for a fleur. Fleur is more situational and normally comes up when you're trying to end the game, more so than protecting yourself from losing. Then we played 3 Marionettor. Like I said, I think we should only play 2 in this build. I didn't edit this apparently before I headed up there. I had edited it on Dueling Book and not in real life. Hate when it happens, but you know, she was still in there. And you know, in the grind game, like all my games are super grindy most of the time in this event. And you know, like her just being able to recur anything from the grave is just bonkers. Like, and then you summon her off like faker if you have a silk on field, and then you bounce it back. Let your faker get destroyed by protocol or an attack. Normal this, set the trap, special the faker back. You know, so it's up for debate still. This deck isn't set in stone, which I love. When pure has kind of been one way for a while outside of trap cards. Then we play the 3 Seek. You want to get to faker, and this card just puts so much pressure. You know, between a Dogmatika punishment and normal summoning Melee-Seek, like your opponent is cringing because you're taking so much off their field for so little investment. Like a normal summon's a big investment, sure, you know, but if they destroy it, you're still getting a search. Like when your opponent judgments a Melee-Seek, you know you're doing pretty good. And it happens a lot because this card applies so much pressure. 1 silk, you know, you gotta make some cuts to fit some of these cards in. 1 silk worked, obviously, but I found myself lacking it. Wishing I had a second sometime. So maybe I'll try a second one again. You know, you can't brick the deck with too many monsters, you know, and we're still playing the Conch. Conch is still amazing. You know, I had stopped Numeron OTK, which isn't like a huge scare or anything, of course, but like it can get you if you're not paying attention. With, you know, typical Conch, special, negate 1, bounce it back, send the other back, special it again for 3 out of their 4 monsters that they summon. So, you know, that kind of... And it stops XZ's monsters from attacking. So it prevents Zeus, which is super necessary because a Zeus against this deck, if you don't have the back row for it, can be kind of crazy. But this deck recurs itself a lot, so we're not always too scared of much. And then we have our 1 Ecclesia. This is what you're searching off Nadir most of the time. If you draw it, you just search the Maximus instead. Now I want to talk about these cards in depth a little bit. This card searches punishment, and that's great. It's amazing, right? But this card's kind of the MVP. Like, they put up a big monster, they put up like a woulda or something. You know, you just special this out. It's got 2,500 attack off the rip, and when it attacks, or when any of your cards attack, it can boost all Dogmatika monsters up by 5, putting it to 3k. So, on top of being a possible negate, I primarily use this card to, like, end games. You would set up your Hexias and all that, and then just special this out. Because, you know, a single Marionettor and a Hexia is 47 damage. This would make it 77, and you're not normally summoning this the very first turn that you make that. You're normally waiting for the double Hextia with Faker specialing on both or whatever. And then by the end of that, you'll have Recursion, and then you'll special this out, and this will kill him. And you'll have 2 Spell or Trap negates on top of that. That's it for the main deck. It flows really well. I never found myself bricking. outside of like just bad chance. Like, what are you gonna do? 3 imperm, that's not normal. Drawing manifestation and conk, like that's not normal. Drawing a full house of both, like, you know, that's astronomical odds. And we still didn't lose that match. We still just went into time for the tie, which I hate to see. But let's go into the extra deck, because this is where I think most people will want to kind of see what's going on and how this works. Originally I was playing 2 extravagance, now I'm just playing the 1, so I think I can maybe save, but you know, some of the cards I'm playing in here, but you play the 1, you know what I mean, it still can hit everything bad. So we're starting off with 2 maiden. It's hard rewiring the brain, normal summoning Marionetter, and instead of setting like protocol, if you don't have a faker, you just have to set the Manny and then go into this and then special out or start activating like Nadir Servant or Ecclesias. This card's great for that. We play 2 of it right now. I'll explain why not 3. We'll show kind of what's going on. This is only in here because I don't have my other Titans yet. I had ordered them and they're still not in from the internet, so just generic. He wasn't even supposed to be there, that's silly. And then some more of our first monsters. This would get cut if I had the 3rd Ash also. I think I can only play, I think I can get away with 2 with the extra build because Ash isn't super needed as like pure shit all or whatever. 1 relinquished Anima. This card, I caught people slipping off it a few times. And you know, it's only there because you can catch your opponent slipping. You know, Trigger Melicy, you know, I feel like it has a space. Almirage is just there in case everything else gets banished, like, you know, the extra deck isn't exactly where we want it to be. Still, we're just waiting on a couple more cards, so we played with what we had. And we play the 3 Hexia, of course. This is great, it feels so good, activating a deer after you set up like double Hexia plays, popping their stuff, and they just kind of know they lose from there, and like searching a Fleur to end the game, or just setting up the board. I would be playing 2 or 3 of these. That's why you see some of those odd cards in there, such as the Almirage and the Boral Sword. Right now we only have 1. Then we played the 3 Natis. This is a workhorse. You know, people in the Altergeist group would mention like, your extra deck must hate you because of the way you abuse it. But like, you know, in Altergeist, when are you summoning all 15 monsters out the extra deck in Pure, for example? You know, like, you never really are. They're just there for utility, quote unquote. And utility, like potential utility versus actually using all your cards in the extra deck, play by play, I think is something people say because they don't know what it's like to experience your extra deck working this hard for you versus hoping to have like an out to some card that you're worried about, you know. And you know, like for the Ningirsu that we used to play and like for the access code and all that stuff, like most that's just to get rid of a Dragoon, you know, and then Fleur does that automatically just in the main. So having an extra deck that works so hard for you, like the Ash, sending these things off, extraving them away, prosperitying them away, like at the end of the day, all you need is Hextia. Like nothing else is really like hitting the board from the extra deck anymore, and it doesn't need to. This breaks boards like insanely. You know, I did lose a game though. I lost the first game to Prank Kids, no cap. I popped his normal summon. We were in the grind game, and I had literally Anima equipped with his unicorn that he had summoned. And then I punishment his like dropsies or whatever, and then I was like, whatever, Natis popped the recycling continuous spell card, and then no cap, he activates triple tactical talents, takes my relinquished Anima, and then just kills me because I was like at 500 by the time. So that felt kind of bad, but you know, stuff like that, you know, you just had to play around. I shouldn't have gotten greedy with the Natis. Then we'll just go into the side deck really quick. Not too much has changed. Instead of playing an Imperial Order and 2 anti-spells, we're just playing 3 anti-spells since we have very powerful spell cards now that we want to resolve. Triple evenly matched, no longer in the main because we're playing different builds. This card didn't resolve, I think, at all, but you know how great this card can be. Triple nib, this card didn't resolve at all, but you know how great it can be. Didn't have to summon this any, but you know, you gotta have it. And then the Duster, and then the back row cards we played a lot of. You love to see them, you know. And check out, like, if you haven't seen it yet, dude, check out the Speed Duel Cyclones. Like, they're so hot, dude. I think they're still pretty cheap, too. I don't know. I feel like that's the new wave. Check it out, though. Unless you got the ulties, which I do not. Okay, so that is the deck profile in the full. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys think about it sometimes. And if you happen to run into the cards, I got my cards for a good deal, the Dogmatika stuff. So I was lucky to be able to play with them. I think it can really, it just puts so much more pressure. Like, this version can just kill you so much faster. And the fact that, you know, you have basically 2 cards that set up traps to ensure the trap segment for Faker is in there with Ecclesia and Marionetter. It's just so nice. Everything just feels like it works super well together. When you're restricted out the extra deck, you just play control. Like, this isn't new, playing just normal. Like, when we were playing Extravagance at 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how to play without an extra deck in Geists. You know. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe.